Do you know what people love to talk about? MJF being backstage during a Samoa Joe WWE entrance. Now, if you don't know, this was before Maxwell Jacob Freeman became a huge star, so he was paying his dues and all that, and today it basically makes for a very cool cameo that us nerds can go, ha, that's brilliant. So let us broaden this conversation because, of course, my friends, there are a list of AEW stars who have also treaded the boards in New York, so let's expand your trivia today. I am Simon Miller, the living fool. Let's go. Number 7, Scorpio Sky. The current story of Scorpio Sky in AEW is strange because he returned briefly in 2025, then he was gone again. Maybe the company has just passed him by, but if you do go back a few years, Sky was all over AEW. He had a proper character as him and SEU lit up the tag team scene. I mean, they even had a chant. Don't know whether you know this, but it's good to have a chant in wrestling. Scorpio also won a TNT title, so he did pretty good for himself, and of course this wasn't his first rodeo. PWG, Ring of Honor. The dude has been all over the place, including WWE. It just so happened it was a very specific position there. So we go all the way back to 2010, and of all the duos, Team Hell No. If you don't know, this was Bryan Danielson and Kane being thrown together, but they didn't really like each other. It got so bad they were told to go to anger management. It was very Vince McMahon. I suppose they were forced as off they went with Kane keeping his wrestling gear on when they met Harold. I do not expect you to remember this attendee, but he was desperate to befriend the tag team champions, and yep, it was the future Scorpio Sky. Harold could be one of the nicest folks to ever appear in a fake therapy session, as he even agreed to do the trust fall exercise with these two idiots. Surprise, surprise, Brian and the Big Red Machine started to argue, and poor Harold fell on the floor. This now sounds like some kind of nursery rhyme. Also, just imagine that being your first appearance in WWE, although to be fair, there have been far worse. A decade later, though, he did become a star in his own right. Number 6, Daniel Garcia. Man, do I hate the Thunderdome era. It's still a period of time I just can't watch because it's too weird. Plus, my brain wasn't happy then. Being trapped in your house is not good. The WWE did keep on trucking though, so despite housing shows in a big empty room, guys and girls were basically getting tryouts. One of these was Daniel Garcia, who of course has gone on to do great things with AEW. I mean, you have to be a pretty good technical wrestler for Bryan Danielson to go, I think you're a pretty good technical wrestler. As he was making his way to the top though, he went to WWE and got a match with another potential signing, Tyler Rust. Although at this point, Danny was called Dante Rios. I have no idea, but Rios lost. I'm not sure anybody remembers this because, again, the world was ending and we'd all gone crazy. Garcia also had another go-around in 2018 on 205 Live, but that was a proper, well, I'm just here to do a job. Drew Gulak beat him in 30 seconds. Goes to show, though, you never know what the future holds, so say yes and do the best job you can. Prove you've got what it takes for more. Daniel did all of it. Number 5, Kris Statlander. Right now, as I talk to you, my friends, Kris Statlander is the AEW Women's Champion. That doesn't just happen, and as an OG of the company, she has busted her ass and earned the opportunity. Also won a TBS title on her travels. She's great. Before she became an alien, though, all the way back in 2019, Statlander was kind of put in a cool position. After the Iconics had won the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania 35, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay defended their belts on Raw against the Brooklyn Bells. We were in New York after all. The team was made up of Carissa and Kristen, which was indeed Kris Statlander and the future Elektra Lopez. Because the Iconics were great, they also said this team had gone 46-0. I don't want to ruin your day, but I think they were lying. Peyton and Billie then ran right through them, although it does sort of feel like Statlander could end up back with WWE one day, because in this stupid business, you never say never. Either way, she smashed it though. She rose to the top of the industry. Number 4, MJF. So let us talk about it in case somehow you don't know as you've been living under a rock. I promise you it gets discussed all the time. I think it all comes back to the fact that MJF is such a big star these days, but it just goes to show you can do anything with the right mindset and talent. Maxwell is interesting too, as he never actually got a match in WWE to show his skills, and instead found himself working security at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Samoa Joe was about to face Shinsuke Nakamura, which was a huge deal, and as Joe was headed to the ring, he had an entourage, or at least the venue had provided him with some security. I don't think Samoa was into this though, because he shoved MJF right into the wall, and as soon as they were both in AEW, they recreated this, of course. I don't think anybody saw round 1 though and thought, hey, there's a dude that's going to be one of the brightest stars of the next generation. So once again, you just never know. Before you ask, no, I was not talking about Star Trek. Number 3, Prince Nana. In 2025, Prince Nana is known as the most wonderful addition to the Swerve Strickland act. They really do work well together and they have a unique chemistry. Nana also got that dance over, but it is no fluke, because the Prince has been an in-ring wrestler himself for years, going all the way back to the early 2000s, and in 2025 that kind of feels like it doesn't exist. But he was in Ring of Honor for a while and also, yes, found his way to WWE for a couple of matches. One came at Madison Square Garden of all places for WWE Jacked, and that's awesome. Although sadly the Prince did lose to Crash Holly in 4 minutes. Round 2 also came on Jacked where Steve Blackman tapped him out, and that was at the Nassau Coliseum. So yeah, once again Prince Nana went and got some very cool experiences under his belt. The Crash bout is worth watching too because you can hear legendary announcer Howard Finkel hamming up Prince Nana's name. It sort of feels like he hung up his boots in 2019 to take on the manager role. Either way, Nana has this sort of secret career we don't talk about. The man basically kept it going for 20 years. More power to him. Number 2, the Young Bucks. I don't care what anybody says, the Young Bucks changed the game. If you go back to 2018 and really take in the lay of the land, they were paving the way for how to make money without being in WWE. They were huge without national TV. I think it was kind of incredible. In ring, they were next level too, which continues today. But when WWE's ECW reboot became a thing, well, Matt and Nick Jackson appeared like Pokemon. It was when The Miz and Morrison were feuding with D-Generation X in 2008 and the heels wanted to embarrass their rivals. Therefore, they told DX to come out, and that sort of happened. 2 humans who kind of looked like Triple H and Shawn Michaels were here, but it soon turned out this was a mockery, and yep, the impersonators were the Young Bucks in full-on insulting cosplay. Of course, The Miz and Morrison destroyed them, but it is crazy we selected Matt and Nick for this, given where they are now and who they were parodying. I mean, nobody knew it at the time, but still. Anybody else could have done this, and it went to Matt and Nick. I think it was their experience of WWE backstage also kind of suggested to them maybe this wasn't the company they actually wanted to go to in the first place. Number 1, Britt Baker. Britt Baker is an interesting discussion point as I record this video. Nobody really knows what's happening. Now, it's not our right to have any information either, but it's because Baker was such an important part of AEW for so many years. Now, nothing. She hasn't been on TV in forever. Back in 2016, though, when All Elite Wrestling didn't exist, Britt was looking for work, so yep, she got booked on NXT. It was when WWE was building up Nia Jax as a monster, so she needed to squash people, and the easiest way to do that is to bring in local talent. I don't think Baker even gets a punch in, and within 1 minute and 30 seconds it's done, but that was the point. Nia is going to kill you. It's also proper blink and you'll miss it stuff, but she still got her moment, and as this list has shown, it can lead to other opportunities, and I'm sure Britt Baker used this to get more work. We will have to see if she does go back to WWE, but it does feel that way. Even with her absence, it would still send social media crazy, because that happens every time. I mean, back in October, we couldn't even handle a video with some shoes. If you know, you know. Now, of course, there will be other AEW stars that have cameoed in WWE and vice versa, so make sure you let us know in the comments below. If you like the video, share the video, and damn it, subscribe. You can also click the video on the screen to get even more AEW information in your head. But otherwise, my friends, you make sure you take care of yourself and eat your pickle. I will talk to you again soon.